Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Kandi and the Gang, Season 1, Episode 9. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. When the episode first opens up, the OLG, they're having a little powwow. So Mama Joyce is showing off this watch and whatnot. So she starts spilling out the words of affirmation and how she's been with them for decades and they're the best sisters in the world. So then Aunt Nora said, "You so wonderful, baby. You the best baby sister anybody could ever have." Here go Aunt Bertha. "I don't know about that." Bertha, she said, "I said the baby sister." Baby, she repeated again, "Honey, I don't know about that." Child, Aunt Bertha be giving them hell. Do y'all hear me? Ooh, baby, it's a whole fool. In the next scene, the OLG is buzzing. Brian has his first table. He's about to leave to go get the drinks, right? So he comes past Philip. Here go Philip. "Hey, Brian, are you doing okay? How are you doing? Are you busy?" Brian was like, "Well, I got a table." And he looked at him like, "Why you being all friendly?" He's like, "Oh, okay, so I just wanted to check in with you. You doing good?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm doing good." Philip said, "Are you going to be gracing us with your vocals?" Oh, look at Philip trying to find a way to be human and connect. We love to see it. But now you know dang on well, Philip, you going to be telling him this ain't no concert when he get to singing in the background. So please let him just please let him just wait on his tables, child, and leave him alone. But I do like the fact that Philip is warming up, okay? I like the fact you warming up, P. You P at this point. Moving forward. So he said, "I do feel like I'm becoming a part of the family. I feel like the team building actually helped." Okay. In the next scene, Patrick is outside and Melvin comes down the steps, right? So they're talking. And Patrick is talking about his Pou Confiant photo shoot. That name is the most hideous thing that I've ever heard. Even repeating it is like, boy, if you don't go. He said it's a luxury body essential oil line. So they go inside, and of course he finds Torin, honey, because he needs help with something else. So he's having a photo shoot, and he needs help with the vision. So he wants him to find the location and whatnot. He's like, "I need your help." Okay, so my photographer backed out. So Safari is going to take the pictures. Here go Torin in his confessional. Ain't she Superwoman? She the photographer, the decorator, the body sculptor. Honey, she does it all. Baby, he said Miriam is the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. Get into it. So he wants Torin to help him find a location and, work for free and whatnot. So Torin said that he used to be a creative director. He hasn't really tapped into it in a while, but he'll help him out. So Don Juan is sitting there, right? And he's like, "Yeah, because I want Don Juan to be shirtless." Don Juan said, "I'm not going to have my shirt off. Honey, y'all not about to play with me, honey. I ain't taking off, okay? Y'all can take y'all clothes off." He was like, "What I look like? If you don't get the..." I know that's right, Don Juan. "Don, you better go and get your Fabio on." Child, that photo shoot was a mess. Bum, 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 bum. It's the photo shoot. Oh, child, shout out to Gucci Mane. Okay, so he said that everybody is invited to the photo shoot. So y'all remember that, okay? Even you, Chandrilla, you are invited to the photo shoot. In the next scene, the gang sneaks a little lunch break in real quick, and Torin announces that there's another event that Patrick is throwing. He's like, it's his skin rose oil. It's called Pou Confiant. Chandrika says, "So I guess you gonna smell like shh." Y'all, let me tell y'all something. This name, Patrick, quit playing with me. Quit playing with me, honey. There is no way that I would ever go to a department store, yes, I said department store, and ask someone to direct me to the Pou Confiant. They're going to be like, "What? Say what now?" The Pou Confiant. They say they sell it here at Macy's. Ma'am, if you don't go, honey, respectfully, go on, go, child. So Torin starts looking up photos and whatnot of the, of everybody that's going to be in the photo shoot. And he stumbles upon Quasi. It's Philip in all his glory, child. I can see Philip being a model, though. He has that model-esque type look about him. So there are pictures of Philip and his skippies. Okay, Philip. Child, Philip got a little body on him. So Dominique was saying in her confessional that it shows that he has a personality because, he always so serious. So this is like showing his fun side. But then they got to get back to work, so lunch break is over. Moving forward. In the next scene, Melvin and Brian, they go to look for a food truck at the food truck park and just scope out some of them, just to see the ins and outs. So he finds a nice food truck owner named Brandon to let him look inside the truck and see what all's doing. So he's looking inside and he told him that the cost of his truck was $70,000. So Brian is like, dang, that's a little grip. But when they sit down to talk, Melvin is encouraging him to move forward with it. But Brian doesn't want to get a loan. He wants to try and save up the money. So he's like, yeah, it's going to take me like a year or two to save it up. I don't blame him for not wanting to go the long route, because they're going to put interest on top of that. And when you get through with that food truck going to be dang near $200,000. So it's best to try to save it up or get as close as possible and take out a small loan if you have to, like if push comes to shove. But I wouldn't want to take out a $70,000 loan either, honey. I'm not financing no food truck. It ain't going to be able to happen. But also, you do want to strike while the iron is hot. So I don't know. It's like, you've built up momentum. We know you for your wigs and and the way you light up the screen when you come on. So you want to capitalize on that. You don't want to wait too long, but at the same time, you don't want to incur too much debt. I don't know, child. It's just so much. But I do like how Melvin spoke so much positivity into his business. Like, he didn't even think Melvin was going to come with him, but he ended up getting off on Saturday, and he was very supportive, and I love to see it. In the next scene, Philip and Don Juan meet up, and Philip is searching for a new bartender since Dom is leaving. So then he brings up an idea that he has for Chandrika, since she knows the ins and outs, and people kind of listen to her a little bit. He wants to make her the head maitre d', aka the head hostess and whatnot. I think that will be good for her, though, because when you give a person like Chandrika more responsibility, it makes them perform better because they want to continue to show and prove. So for a person like her and her personality, I think that's actually a smart move. Like, who would have thunk it? Philip wanting to promote Chandrilla. They have come a long way. I told y'all she had some redeeming qualities. Y'all gonna start listening to me. Y'all gonna start listening to me, honey. I might not be right all the time, child, because, sometimes I'm not. But I do feel like Chandrika redeemed herself throughout the season. The only thing he worried about, though, is how Kandi and Todd are going to feel about the promotion. Now, I personally think that Kandi going to be okay with it, but Todd might need a little bit more convincing. So they're going to do a little test run first, and then they're going to get into it as they get into it. It's the day of the photo shoot. Bum, 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 bum. It's the photo shoot. So it's the day of the photo shoot. Torrin is doing yet another freebie. Torrin, what did I tell you about that? But I know you're getting exposure through the show and whatnot, so I'm going to let it slide. He brought out the plants. Kelly and Michelle made an appearance. But just like the real Beyonce, his plant Beyonce don't just be at everybody's event. Beyonce just don't be everywhere. Beyonce ain't going to just be everywhere, child. Okay? Especially a free event. If you ain't paying, B ain't staying. Honey, that's just how it goes. So he's setting up and whatnot. And Safari and Patrick, they arrive. So Patrick tells us that he came up with the name to promote healthy skin. So everybody else starts getting there. Miriam is directing the people. So then Aunt Bertha shows up. Hey, Aunt Bertha. Brandon made sure he spoke when he saw Aunt Bertha. Because you don't want no smoke. You know what happened to you last time. So they start taking these pictures, child. Don Juan got on his house robe. What is happening? This is giving amateur night at the Apollo, if I ever did see it. You have access to Kandi. Well, why would you do this on this iPhone 10? Child, this is a fool. So anyway, the name is definitely befitting for this photo shoot because it's giving poo. Okay, the photo shoot ain't poo. Child is a mess. So then Kandi and Todd, they arrived. Kandi walked in. Here go Kandi. Where the real photographer? I know that's right, Kandi. That's what we looking for. Now, they know dang on well that this has to be for TV. It's only one photographer in the ATL. Child, and y'all ain't fooling me. So Dawn was like, Safari doing the pictures. Here go Kandi. Safari, you doing the pictures yourself? Honey, Andy is. So in the confessional, Kandi and Todd are sitting together, and Kandi said, well, I didn't know Safari was a photographer. Todd said, I didn't either. Kandi said, they doing the Kandi and Todd right now. Todd said, I don't think it's quite the Kandi and Todd, but they doing something. Okay, well, there could have been a real photographer, but I'm going to give him some grace because everybody starts somewhere and you got to improvise. So over on the other side, Patrick tells Kandi his slogan. His slogan is, I'm confident in my skin and you should be poo. Okay. Okay, I'm not about to play with you with this slogan. I'm not about to play with you, sir. No. So Kandi looking like, say what now? So Kandi tells him, look, I don't know if I can get with the poo. He was like, you don't like that? No, we don't like that. Kandi said, no, it reminds me of So then Patrick said, you know, it stands for skin. Patrick, it may stand for skin, but the average Joe is not going to know poo stands for skin. And honey, they ain't going to get on the Googler. So you're going to have to change that name, child. It's not giving what's supposed to be gave. So outside, Chandrika shows up with Brian in the parking lot. And baby, he is wearing a t-shirt that says, let's get crazy, with a picture of Philip in his Speedo. When I tell y'all, I looked at that, I said, oh, y'all about to get in trouble. Because I really thought Philip was going to get upset. But let's see how it goes. So he gives Chandrika one of these shirts and she puts it on. He's like, you ready? She said, yep, ready to get fired on my day off. It's definitely giving Friday, okay? And y'all definitely giving Day and Craig. So they get inside. Here go Brian. Brian, just get inside. Brian, get in. He making all kinds of unnecessary noise. Kandi talking about, what's going on? Who is that? Baby, they show those shirts and they started to fall out. Everybody was falling out. I just knew Philip was going to get upset, but he was a good sport about it. He didn't get mad. He just looked at it. He laughed it off. So they were asking him if he had been a model before or a modeler. And he let them know, yes, he did used to work for a modeling agency. Okay. So Torrin, in his confession, he was like, he look all right, but he don't look as good as he did on them pictures. You know, there is a such thing as editing. Now, Torrin, Philip still look good, honey. He might not got the cow. He might not have those washboards, abs like he did back then. But honey, ain't nothing a few sit-ups can't help. Shout out to Philip. So after Quasi's shirts, it was Todd's turn to take his pictures, honey. You know Kandi gonna hype her baby up, as she should. She's like, you look good, babe. Kandi, you better hype up Toddrick. So Aunt Bertha gonna say, I ain't know they was gonna have half strippers. Don Juan said half strippers? Yeah, half strippers. I guess because they taking the top off and not the bottom. Ooh, child. So Chandrika is getting ready for the photo. Her and Safari are sharing lipstick because she wants Chandrika to have a red lip. Todd said, they sharing lipstick? Kandi gonna say, well, they lips been in the same place anyway. I mean, touche, Kandi, touche. But I don't care what's going on. I'm not about to be sharing lipstick with not nobody. Okay, not even my sister. I don't know where your lips been, honey. We grown folks. We kiss and we touch and we do things down below. Absolutely not, honey. You could have just gotten over a cold sore. No. Okay, I do like the fact that they are getting along and they're being very mature after the triple date and whatnot. But I'm not about to put your lip gloss on my lips. Absolutely not. So they finish up this Skinamax softcore shoot. I'm like, what is happening, honey? The music, all the shirts off, the rose petals and whatnot. Oh, child, it was a mess. The whole photo shoot was a fool. But I am proud of Patrick for starting something. But Patrick, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. You're going to have to change that name. It's not given what's supposed to be gave. Like, just change the name and then we can continue. In the next scene, Todd, Kandi, Don Juan, and Philip, they're interviewing new bartenders. And Philip wanted his brother's girlfriend to interview, but she's drunk. Oh, child. So he comes in and actually tells them that she's drunk. Now, Philip, why in the world would you tell them that? Then he had the nerve to usher on in anyway. I said, child, this is a mess. He would have a fit if anybody at OLG showed up to anything drunk. You had a whole fit because Brian sat down at the bar and got up. But you gonna usher this woman in here drunk? And when I tell y'all she was lit, she was tiptoeing in, about to fall over. I said, look at Weebles Wobbles, but they don't fall down. So they started asking questions and whatnot, right? So Don Juan said, what would be your favorite drink to make? She's like, well, people who drink, you know, they really don't drink. They would pick, don't be feeding her the answers. He was feeding her the ingredients and everything. Yeah, tequila, a little splash of it. No, Philip, let her answer. She's like, yeah, it's got hella multiple drinks that really ain't about nothing. And when I tell y'all, they panned over to Todd, and Todd was getting his whole life. He was cracking up. I was like, girl, what are you talking about? Now it's got hella. Okay. So then they asked how she would deal with an intoxicated person. Honey, she need to deal with herself first. And she was like, well, if you're dealing with a bunch of drunk people, they need to know that if they on some BS, then I'm on some BS. Like, I really want to deal with you good, but if you fucking with me, then you gotta go. Okay. She's like, okay, bye y'all. Y'all were fun. Philip, get this woman out of here, child. Girl, goodbye, honey. Philip, walk her to the door, because she giving that weekend at Bernie's walk, and I don't want her to tip over and fall, honey, and then be trying to sue the candy coated factory on her way out, child. So Philip gonna say, just how they look out for their family, I'm doing the same thing. Child, I hollered, and then he gave that big old smile. Philip, this is not the same thing, honey. She's drunk. So when he came back inside, Kandi said, well, she was nice. Not really. But if she cussing in the interview, what's she gonna do on the job? She gonna cuss just like everybody else. Moving forward. In the next scene, Brian is waiting for Todd to arrive so he can pitch his business idea to him. Now, Brian, if you're gonna be taken seriously, not you showing a little cleavage in your class costume jewelry, honey, with this blazer on. And Brian, what in the straw gray colored wig are you wearing? Okay. Since it's Todd, I'm gonna go and give you a pass. It's okay, I guess. But for a formal investment meeting of someone that you do not know, you can't be dressing like that, honey, because they're not going to take you seriously. Now, I love your personality, and I love that you are going to be authentically, unapologetically Brian. I like that. But, baby, from the straw wig to, that necklace, it's a hell no. So he presents Todd with a few egg rolls. They looked yummy, honey. Had a little nice crunch to them. I love a good egg roll. A real crispy one. When you bite into it, you hear that. I love a good egg roll, child. Woo! So he breaks down the math, and the math was definitely mathing. He's going to be making a pretty good profit. And so he asks Todd for $100,000 for 20% of the business. Y'all better get y'all Shark Tank on. So Todd, he was really impressed with the presentation and whatnot. And also the taste of the food. But he wants 50%. Baby, Todd gonna invest in something if he don't do nothing else. He better make sure and run this past Kandi, because Kandi be saying you be investing and don't be doing nothing with it. But I'm sure she'll love to invest in Brian, so it's really a no-brainer. But 50% is a lot, though. So Todd is like, well, you don't need a food truck. I got a location that I could put you in. You got to think about it. What are you really doing? Because you could just walk away today or tomorrow, and then I'm left holding the bag. And this is true. But I do think he should start with a food truck and not an actual location. The upkeep of a brick and mortar store will bring you down if you're not ready. If you don't have the foot traffic, that's not a smart move. But what I'm thinking I'm thinking it's that Mexican spot. Y'all remember he bought that, and Kandi was like, you keep throwing up all these businesses and stuff, because he wanted to create Todd and Kandi's Taco Tuesday or something like that. Child, I don't know what it was. But anyway, I think it's that big. I think it's that building, because he was renting that building and not doing anything with it. So he was just going to insert Brian. But I still think I would go with the food truck. Moving forward. In the next scene, Torrin put together a little going away party for Dom, unique. And they're doing one of those booze bike rides where they have to pedal themselves. So when they get on the bike, Dom told them how her mom passed away. She had a cold, turned into walking pneumonia, and she died. She was like, I was unprepared. This just came out of nowhere. So one of her friends, who was actually on the bike with them, took her in and, it was like her family. So he starts asking Brandon what his intentions are for Dom. And he gonna say, well, I really just want to start a family. Slow down, low down. Okay? Y'all just got together. Plus, you were ready to send her packing to another location. And don't think I forgot. Absolutely not. Dom, we're not going to do that. Just not yet, child. Please enjoy yourself as long as possible. In relationships, travel, do all the things you want to do, because having kids and settling down, that's a huge responsibility. And everybody ain't always ready for that. And Brandon, I know you ain't ready for it, child. You just talking. So Brandon was like, I could really see a family with Dom. Okay, that's cool, but not yet. Her career is just starting to take off, honey. They're always trying to trap you and sit you down somewhere. No, okay? Go on tour with the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. Come back, date a little bit, and in a few years, pop out some babies. Moving forward. In the next scene, Don Juan and Philip trick Chandrika into thinking she's getting a write-up. So they going back and forth and back. And she's like, I'm not signing. I should have gotten a verbal warning first. So Patrick was like, I'm really not with the back and forth. And then all of a sudden, he's like, psych, told you I was going to get you back. Basically, they just wanted to trick her because of the t-shirts that her and Brian were wearing. And they really want to promote her. And it's payback for that shirt. Poor thing, honey, her wig was sweating. I was like, oh, child. But they end up telling her, and she was happy about it. moving on over to Patrick. He wants to ask Miriam's dad for permission to marry her. So they're playing golf, and honey, it's neither one of their strong suits. And they're having a little small talk. He's telling him that he used to be an Olympic fighter and he fought with Joe Frazier. And I'm like, oh, okay. So they're having small talk. And so Patrick was like, yeah, I like that, Mr. Abdul. But the real reason that I invited you here is because I wanted to get permission to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage. And I like the fact that Patrick called her Miriam. He did not call her Safari. Patrick is a very respectable young guy. Now, granted, I do think that he should wait a little bit to get married, but that's just my own personal preference, honey. It ain't got nothing to do with him, so go on, do what you gonna do, honey, because you're gonna do it anyway. But I do like the fact that he asked for her hand in marriage and he used her real name. He used her government name. I like that. So he said, well, have you ever been engaged before? So Patrick told the truth. He said that he had. So then he asked how well that she's going to fit into his lifestyle. Child, fit into his lifestyle? You mean how is he going to fit into her lifestyle? Child, he doing everything she tell him to do. But anyway, Dad, that was cute. So he was like, oh, okay, well, basically, if she like it, I love it. It's up to her. If she wants to marry you, then she can marry you. So he was like, so do I have your blessing? And again, if she wants to marry you, then she can marry you. And that was the end of the episode. It was a cute little episode. It didn't really give too much, but it gave us just enough to keep us entertained with a double dose of Kandi in the game. And oh, side note, Patrick, that was very Southern gentlemanly of you. All right, y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. Sorry, I am late. This week was jam-packed, but I got it out nonetheless. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.